Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Hello, somebody. Yeah, it's time to move your body. Hello, somebody. Welcome to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Faith Favorite, and we live in the trenches right here at Loyola University. Y'all know why I'm excited like this? Not because LSU won. But the Saints won, baby. That's right. The New Orleans Saints got themselves a big win. We're going to get into that later on in the show because we will be joined by WWL sports anchor Seth Lewis. He's going to talk little Saints with us. Of course, we got my man Lil Chris in the building. Chris, segment one, we're going to get into a little high school football here in the New Orleans area. But before we do that, I want to send a big shout out to all of our sponsors. Get Gordon, yeah, and get it done. Big ups to the Gordon McKernan injury attorneys. Remember, if you have been involved in a car accident or if you got injured at work and you need the winning team to get with you, you got to get with the McKernan Law Firm. That's right, hit them up at 504-800-8888. Big ups to Dr. Kendra, baby. Big ups to stillbody.org. That's right, Health Nut System. It's getting cold outside right now, Chris. It is, right? It's getting pretty chilly out there. So right now, more than ever, it's important to take care of your body, make sure you have the right nutrients, so on and so forth. So holla at Dr. Kendra. You can visit them at stillbody.org. CMARS, she has her vitamins with all the natural supplements. All of it's all natural. Got to take care of that body, baby. Then Conquer Sports Pros. Visit csportspros.com right now. If you are a high school junior or senior and you're looking to take your high school career to the next level, play some college ball and have it paid for, definitely visit C Sports Pros and let the professionals at our team work with you. Speaking of some high school ballers, it's playoff time here in South Louisiana. Chris, you work with Crescent City Sports. Correct. You travel to the different games. What y'all call yourselves? Y'all sign off, say something.
Chris Pouncey from The Original.
The Originals. Yeah, I like how all y'all say, yeah, The Originals.
Yep.
So let's start where you were this weekend, this past Friday. What team you covered and how they playoff situation looking right now?
Well, originally, I was supposed to go to cover the St. Aug John Curtis game, but I had my ring ceremony.
Okay, all right.
Friday
Congrats to you, big time.
Yes, sir. Last year in college. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to that game, but I still took some peeks at it. I liked how St. Aug rallied from a 13-0 deficit. They was down 13-0 and late in the first quarter, and then they just rallied behind that. They scored like 35 unanswered points. 35-13,
crazy.
What it was at halftime, and then the final score was 48-28, and that was St. Aug's first win against John Curtis in a very long time before I even got there. So that was a big win, and they're 9-1 this year with their only loss to Carr. So they're having an amazing season so far. I'm so proud of them boys, and let's see how the playoffs start for them.
See, he had to do the ring ceremony. I know that has everything to do with Loyola. He about to graduate, but he also had to throw in there he a St. Aug grad. So big ups to St. Aug.
Yes,
big
sir.
ups to Coach Robert Valdez. He's been
Absolutely.
doing an amazing job.
Such a great guy, such a great coach.
He is. He was actually. This has to be episode 250. I don't know, 500. I don't know. We somewhat deep in the episodes, but he was guess 7 or 8 on the show. He was on episode 7 or 8 back when we used to do the shows at Voodoo Barbecue and Grill, and to see what he has done at St. James, also going out coaching with Coach Hugh Jackson out there at Grambling. Now coming back here to St. Aug and really turning the program around. It's cool because we coach players at both schools. We have Ty Dominique over at St. Aug. He trains with us in the off season. Actually, I just worked with Brock Bryant. He plays offense and defensive line for Curtis. So, both of those teams, they have first-round buys. But you do have to give St. Aug their props on how they change it around. We talk about them having a buy. And if y'all just tuning in, feel free to comment below what you think about Louisiana Division I, Division II, Select A, non-select. And it's just, for me, this is an exciting season, and it starts with the Catholic League.
I think the Catholic League is the SEC of Louisiana high school football.
Man, I feel like the region, with Edna Carr doing what they did this year, playing out of state, having a team come in from out of state and the way they played them exceptionally well in the Dome, you have to say that the dynasty that they have over at that Carr is strong. We're going to get to Carr here in a second. Of course, they're on the bye, and they play the winner out of Jesuit and McDonough 35. So I know those teams are resting up right now. St. Aug, they play the winner out of Acadian and Karen Crow. We actually train, when you watch the tapes, we train BJ Nezzy. Matter of fact, Fat from Mr. Fat, who produced Cupid songs, that's his son. He plays at Acadian High, so their defensive line is pretty strong. We train him with that. And then you have Karen Crow. So that's a big-time Lafayette matchup St. Aug's going to have to play one of those schools. They'll have to come here to Tad Gormley to take on St. Aug. We talked about Edna Carr. Had an exceptional season. Once again,
Undefeated.
And I really thought Carr was going to struggle a bit with
Adjusted to the Catholic.
with St. Aug.
Oh.
Well, they won last year, so I know that you go back, and they did have to adjust to the Catholic League in their defense. They did have to adjust to the Catholic League, but for Carr, I thought the St. Aug game was going to be closer. Looking at the skills that they have on offense, how stout their defense is, I felt that was going to be the issue for them. I felt like, man, y'all gonna have a tough time. So the fact that they beat St. Aug and beat them handsomely says a lot. So they take on the winner out of McDonald 35 and Jesuit. Two good teams. Did you cover 35 this year?
I did cover 3-5 game this year.
Talk to us about.
It was against Edna Carr.
So you were you covered that game. So how did they fare out in that matchup, and how you think they're gonna do against Jesuit?
Well, it's only so much you could do against Carr, so it definitely was a talent gap there. And I mean, Carr's running back Trey Garrison just absolutely ran all over them, and then Carr's defense, it would. Like, their defensive line, they was just all over 3-5's quarterback that game. And, really not really much the offense could have done. They couldn't stop the run game, and, they couldn't stop the D-line from getting after the quarterback. So, but with this game against Jesuit, I would say, because I cover a few Jesuit games this year too, I definitely do think whoever wins the line of scrimmage will be a big factor in that ball game. And if I have to predict a winner, I'll probably say Jesuit for sure. I think they're the better coach team. I think they are better skilled players. So, and I just think that they're a significantly more talented team.
And I feel you on that one. I think that's a really good prediction for that matchup. Hadn't coached with those guys over there at Jesuit. Coach Ryan Manally's first 2 years at Jesuit, I was his defensive coordinator, co-coordinators, me and Jai Eugene. And then I started Conquer Sports Pros, at the time, Favor Strength and Fitness. And when I started it, I had to obviously put more time to the training, so on and so forth. Man, Chris, back then it was like I used to do like morning workouts, not just training athletes. Like I used to have novice folks who wanted to go out there and get their workout on. We were rolling with that. But I know how Coach Manally prepares. I know the type of mindset he has in regards to tackling the week. I can remember those Sundays after church, we would all go over there by Coach Manally, watch film, break it down for our next matchups. And in addition to that, you have a staff that's prepared, coaching with Coach Chris and those guys over there. I know their star defensive end, Zion Forstall, he's a Conquer sports player as well. He actually went to IMG. There's another kid over there, Barry. He's pretty good. And, Ryan always does a good job at working with the players he has and, doing an exceptional job. And I can say the same thing about the staff at 35. So it should be a good game.
For sure.
But, I do feel as if, Jesuit may have the bit edge. I feel you on that one. And they'll have to take on Carr, which listen, the trick to the trade with that is two good coaches, and Manally and Coach Bryce, and you played them once before.
Yes.
So it's just this, hey, we've seen this team before, but once again, brother, Carr is just a different animal this year. And they were good last year, but, I mean, it's just different. Okay, so we talked about St. Aug. We also talked about John Curtis. Now, they play the winner out of St. Thomas More and Lafayette. I think St. Thomas More might have the edge on that game. Curtis is a 7 seed. Your thoughts on John Curtis versus any of those teams? How do you think they fare out?
They, as going back to their history, they always been great at running the football, using that triple read offense with the quarterback, running back. But Once they stop the run, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gotta throw the ball. You gotta throw the ball against St. Aug. You gotta throw the ball against Carr. You gotta throw the ball against these teams if they're able to stop the run. Because once they take the run game away from you, I don't know how John Curtis is gonna respond. So they definitely need to, get up in that passing game, to fare with a St. Aug or Edna Carr.
I'm with you on that one. Hey, look, if y'all just tuning in, we live here on ESPN Baton Rouge's YouTube channel. Feel free to chime in the conversation. Y'all can like and subscribe to ESPN Baton Rouge's YouTube. Also, go to Inside the Trenches with Marlon Favorite right here on YouTube as well. Subscribe and like, comment. We're talking local high school football here in the New Orleans area. A couple of teams that are in the race, in the hunt. We talked about the teams that are on buys this week. A lot of New Orleans teams are getting back in the conversation. That's something that shift in the last few years. It was heavy Baton Rouge teams. This year at Baton Rouge, you have Catholic.
Yeah.
They're in it. That's really it. Lafayette has most of the first-round buys. You have Turlin Catholic. You also have, we talked about Catholic Baton Rouge just now. Alexandria has a first-round buy. And then you go up north even more with Evangeline Christian. They have a first-round buy as well. So I think that's pretty cool that they're in that situation. But let's talk about some teams. We're going to stick around here. We got a couple of little minutes left here on this segment. I want to stick in this Division I select, and I want to talk about some of the teams that do have to play this week. We talked about Jesuit, McDonough 35, but it's also a matchup that I think is going to be pretty cool, Rummel versus Holy Cross. We talk about, once we do jump into the regionals, how you're going to have Jesuit play Edna Carr, but I know you've probably covered one of these teams this year, Chris. When you look at this Holy Cross Rummel matchup, I mean, talk to me, brother. Who you think has the edge on this one? Rummel played Edna Carr pretty close the first quarter last week. They were up like 14-0.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Rummel did dominate Holy Cross. The last time they played them, they beat them 24-3. It was a beatdown. So I think Rummel gets the edge again. I just think they're a tough, gritty team. They always been a tough, gritty team. Even when I was in high school, they always been a tough, gritty team. So, man, we know the history. We know, hey, I've seen Jamar Chase play at Rummel. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
they got talent there for sure. And I definitely do think that with their scrappiness, I think they'll get Holy Cross again this time.
Let's take a look at Division I non-select. This year, we have some new mentions, and I got a quick story about that group of folks. But if y'all just tuning in, feel free to chime in the conversation. We're going around our region. Shout out to our Baton Rouge folks. We threw a little bit of Baton Rouge Catholic out of Baton Rouge in the conversation. But I know my folks over there guarantee want us to talk a little New Orleans, so that's what we want to bring a little flavor in your ear. You heard me? Okay, so let's look at the folks who have buys, right? Ruston, we've heard their name pop up a lot in the playoffs here recently and some success.
Yep.
They also have themselves a Buc-ee's now. Shouts out to Ruston. They got a Buc-ee's out there in Ruston now, right? It's crazy, right? You have Denham Springs, a team that competes. That's a Baton Rouge area. Destrehan, going to circle back to them in Neville. So over the past few years, we've trained a lot of Destrehan players. The way we've worked with this Destrehan team, me and my crew, shouts out to Coach Stu, Coach Smokey too, is the type of time, work, attention to detail with technique, so on and so forth that we did with the U High team. So from the years of 2016 till basically right into 2020, we've had several players from U High, right? We've worked with these players over at Concord. When I say we, me, Skylar Green, Carnell Stewart, help. These guys came and saw us the week of the state championship to get some extra work in. That's the type of work ethic and time that the kids from Destrehan spent with us. It's almost the same thing. Like, big ups to Coach Q, that's Donald Bernard's dad, Biscuit. He was like the kid Donald Bernard, he's the epitome of your typical high school player that started off just developing, learning his technique and turned into almost an All-American in high school. He was an All-American in college. His dad had him training with us twice a week, sometimes more than that. And they was traveling. That's how I started doing it. Me and Scotland, we started doing the traveling back and forth to Baton Rouge. We were training these kids out there.
Mm.
That's the same approach the Destrehan kids took this year. Like, I would see Braylon, the twin brothers, Gage. You know, we would see all of these kids in the off season a lot. If they didn't come see us, they went with Coach Smokey. Can't think of the big center name. There's another kid that trained with us, Earl Collins. They were on the show, him and his brother Jordan. That's why I talk about the big twins come and train with us. And what that does is, big ups to those coaching staffs too. Coach Scott actually gave me my first high school coaching job back when I was still playing in the NFL, but I would come home. He got me that opportunity before I started coaching with Ryan Manali at De La Salle. But Coach Scott is a great coach. He really helped pick the program up when Coach Hank Tierney left at West Jefferson years ago, and he's doing an exceptional job at Destrehan. Yeah, he's a Jesuit guy. He actually graduated from Jesuit, Coach Scott. But Coach Scott has those guys ready.
Oh, yeah.
But for the players to take the extra mile, and these aren't like freshmen, young kids. These are guys who are starters to take the extra mile to put the work in. So big ups to Alberto, always getting the kids together, putting together groups who will train them, and first round bye. When the core of your team, I'm not saying we had the whole team, but we had several of their players. When they're working and they're consistently putting work in with specialists, that matters. It's just the facts of life. That matters. We want to look at, Chris, some of the teams that locally that do have to play against each other that don't have the bye. Hornville, Slidell. You cover Hornville this year?
No.
We have a couple guys that we train over there as well. Bo Woods, Renan Russ. That team have some defense. And the coaching staff over there is pretty good. Shouts out to Coach Malta, the defensive coordinator over there, who actually coached at Slidell before, but now he's at Hornville coaching their defensive staff. What do you think about that matchup? I mean, you have a Hornville team that played pretty competitive against Destrehan. How you think they fare out?
I think against Slidell, I think the defense will be key. And I'm looking at some of the games right here. Some of the games, they barely allowed over 20 points, you know? Yeah. So the defense is real. And I think Hornville should beat Slidell. Slidell, they're having a decent season this year, but I just think it's Hornville's game to win for sure.
Yes, indeed, baby. Well, look, we're going to keep this Monday rolling. That's right. Big ups to the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys for sponsoring this segment. Remember, get Gordon, get it done. You can visit them or call if you're in an accident. You can hit them up, 504-800-8888. Get Gordon, get it done. And guess what? We're going to go ahead and get segment 1 done, baby. That's right. We're getting this thing started off talking a little bit of high school football. Big ups to all the players on their first round buys, the players that have to handle their business this weekend. Do your thing, man. Get your hustle on, baby. Work hard. Make it do what it do. Anyway, y'all don't go nowhere. When we come back, talking about some teams that won, but we got to talk LSU, Bama. LSU did go on the road and lose to Alabama, 20-9. We have to talk about that matchup. Not all bad. We got some positive about the game, too. Then we'll look at some other teams, maybe take a look at some playoff pictures and go over what we think about our Tigers. But y'all don't go nowhere, baby. It is Inside the Trenches. We live here at the Loyola Studios here on ESPN Baton Rouge. We'll be back. Hello, somebody.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Well, hello, somebody. Yeah, it's time to move your body. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon Big Favorite. We're live here on the ESPN Baton Rouge's YouTube, as we are every Monday, 6:30 p.m., right here at the Loyola Studios. Definitely feel free to like and subscribe on Inside the Trenches as well, and we appreciate everything that y'all contribute to the show. Hey, if you are a high school football, junior or senior, and you want to play college football and have it paid for, well, I think it's important that you visit csportspros.com. That's right, csportspros.com. Let the professionals over there at that team work with you and get you on your journey to playing some college football. Because there's lots of ball to play out there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, speaking of college football, I have a wonderful job, a job that I've been working for the past 9 years, and I love it. We're up here. When we win, we're high to the sky, but when we lose, it's not all good. And this weekend, LSU wasn't able to win against Alabama. It was a tough thing over there at Nick Saban Field. That is the name of the field over there in Tuscaloosa. For the Tigers, because we didn't get it done. You know, if you get going, you get it done, but we couldn't get it done this weekend. Right. We didn't score. That's one thing that really stood out. We didn't score any touchdowns. The red zone efficiency wasn't there like we needed it to be. I will say the first few drives, it was for sure a spark. Like, we saw a difference. But then we turn around, we start to see the same screens again. But we saw a defense that went out there and shut things down.
Yeah.
You had a coach and Coach Blake Baker that said, hey, Coach Frank, let's do some real simulation drills. Let's really simulate what we need to see. I kind of thought that was going on, but he overemphasized that. And you could tell that they did it because we had answers for Alabama. We held Alabama to 20 points. Let's take a look at Alabama this year. Alabama, not really the highest scoring team, right? But they scored, I'm not going to talk about the ULM game. They scored 38 points against Wisconsin. Only scored 24 points against Georgia. That's Georgia, right? They scored 30 against Vandy, 27 against Mizzou, 37 against Tennessee, 29. So this is the lowest scoring game that they've had
in a minute
since they lost to Florida State. So the LSU defense is on point. The issues that we are experiencing
is on offense.
It's on the offensive line in particular. Chris, give me your thoughts. What's your thoughts on this matchup against LSU? What did you see? What are some of the things that you wish would have been slightly different?
I liked how they kind of committed to the run. I mean, Harlem Berry had 12 carries, so I am a little bit happy with that. What I'm not happy with is their third down efficiency. They was 5 for 14 on third down. I feel like they could definitely do better on that. And penalties, way too many penalties. It's going to be hard to win a football game when you have 10 penalties and the other team has 2 penalties. So that's the two things I wish would have been different.
Yeah, if y'all are just tuning in, we're talking about LSU, and we just got a special guest joining us in the building. My man CL NOLA, just coming on set. Boom, just like that, baby. I think. What up, T, baby? Taylor gang. Holla at your boy. Yep. So Yeah, there we go. We in like Flint, baby. Yeah, you showed up right on time, man. We just here talking about this LSU matchup against Alabama. But Chris, you were making a point about Harlon Berry's performance and how he was able to not only, how could I say this? Harlon Berry is the spark that we needed at running back.
Yeah.
Imagine if we did have the offensive line we've had last year before last, even say, right? When we look how more effective Caden Durham was last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's obvious the main issue with LSU CL is the O-line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and not to harbor on the O-line. I also think it's about consistency. Staying with the run. I think we saw that this evening with yesterday with the Saints. I'm sure we'll get on that. But I think it's just about consistency, staying with the run. So, yeah, I do agree. Durham looked better in that backup role because that's what I wanted. That's what I envisioned for Frank's offense, for him to stick with one back and go heavy with one back and spare with the other, in which obviously that was Harlon Berry, and I'm glad that he did that because I do believe the young man is the next up-and-coming running back for LSU. Realizing that he is the number one rushing leader in Louisiana history. So, yeah, let's give it to him and let's stay with it. But I don't really fault the offensive line because, what do you expect against Alabama on this rivalry game?
Right.
You know? I think the offensive line did fairly good because at the end of the day, they end up blocking for both quarterbacks. And, yes, we know number 8,
Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Johnson is on the team, and we know that Nussmeier was the starting quarterback. He didn't play bad. They just wanted a different spot. They wanted to show Alabama something different. So I think the offensive mindset and the attack was straight, but once again, at the end of the day, it is the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Now, a big conversation throughout the game, and if y'all just tuning in, we're talking about LSU's loss to Alabama. We lose 20-19. 20-9. I kind of wish it was 2019. It would have been a little closer. But 20-9, there's a couple of things that we can point out. I do want to talk about my thoughts on Coach Frank for his first job at head coach. We'll definitely talk about that as a panel. But the biggest thing from the game was Gary Nussmeier's performance. Yeah. And it wasn't, if you look at the numbers before he got benched, they weren't horrible. He was 18 for 21 on 121 yards, had a quarterback rating of 79.5. That's not bad. Coach Frank did mention earlier this week that at some point he may switch gears. He may put Van Buren in. Gary, if he was pretty much hot and being effective in the red zone, I think we'd have saw more of him. But that rollout into the sack and the fact that Alabama only blitzed 3 people. Now, this is the second game because Texas A&M did that too. It might have been the third thing. Ole Miss a couple times rushed 3. When Van Buren got in there, they had to change their entire defense up because he was able to take off. Now, he was they called that, they held us for everything. I saw Xavier Thomas be out of bounds, and they slung him in there and called that penalty.
Yeah, they definitely wasn't consistent.
You see what I'm saying?
They definitely wasn't consistent in this game. But look at all of America. Look at all the world of football. The roughing is not consistent. So I don't expect for it to be anything less in this big game, of course, at Nick Saban Stadium in Alabama. So for that to be said, maybe that's a whole nother segment about the inconsistency of the roughing that's going on in the NFL. But and college football all around.
And look, y'all feel free to chime in. Y'all thoughts on, CL made a good point. Like, what's your thoughts on the college surface? I guess after we finish talking about this matchup, time fly, Clippers wings. Well, we probably got about another 8-9 minutes in this segment. But Chris, I want to come to you about Gary. because the numbers weren't bad, you look at his situation last year, it's obvious with the offensive line, he's going through what he's going through. I mean, what's your thoughts on his performance prior to getting put out the game? Well, I don't want to put out. prior to getting benched. They went a different direction at the second half of the game, mid-third quarter. Your thoughts?
I mean, I understand why they benched him. They wanted a new spark at quarterback. And like we all just said, I don't think his performance was bad. I don't think his performance was terrible. It's just they want a quarterback that's going to fit their offensive scheme. And Van Buren, he's the type of quarterback that's going to run out the pocket when every chance he can get, take off, every opportunity he can get if there's nothing in the pocket. Versus Garrett Nussmeier, he's just going to stand in the pocket, not going to really take off or run. He's a pocket passer. And Van Buren, he's mobile. He's agile, He could use his legs a little bit. So I think that's why they made the quarterback change. And especially due to the offensive line play, definitely doesn't help that either. So that's why I think they made the quarterback change.
Yeah, it's a young group. They jumped off sides a lot.
Yeah.
It was a hostile environment. It was, and for a young crew, that's not always the easiest experience to go through. But CL, I'm gonna come to you on this next. Coach Frank does have a decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
I know he may say, "Hey, look, y'all, we're gonna be running a 2-quarterback system." Gary may just get his job back, and we just kind of sprinkle in Van Buren. Or we may roll with Van Buren so we can finish with a different look at quarterback. We've seen this happen at Texas A&M. We've seen this happen at the South Carolina game. We had to switch out. Sometimes these things do happen. I do applaud Gary Nussmeier's attitude
For sure.
and willingness to be a team player. I don't think that was fake. It was very genuine from how I looked at it. Talk to me, CL. I just gave you 3 scenarios. What scenario you like the best? And also tell me how you think it may play out.
Wow. Thank you for asking me that question, Fred. I think personally, well, you know what? I'm not going to think for myself. I'm going to think as Frank Wilson. And the Frank Wilson that I know, it'll be a combination of them all. Why would he tell them who's the starting quarterback for them to prepare?
Right.
Have the defense prepare for both of them. Why would he give the heads up on who's the starting back? Have them prepare for both of them. So I predict that the offensive attack is to give them everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is to be the norm. Nothing is to be what you've seen before. Just like last Saturday night, going with the Van Buren, obviously over Nussmeier. But I think it definitely is the type of attack that he would do so they can't prepare. They'll have to over-prepare, and that is an actual form of a strategy. But I don't think it's all about offense. I think the defense has to step up as to a man. We know we are down a great player in Weeks. I still, to this day, think we have number 7 out of position. In my heart of hearts, he'll take it to the next level and be something on the next level. I'm just, unfortunately, I just don't feel like we're getting the best out of number 7, schematically and defensively. But for the most part, I know the defense. I know Corey has those DBs ready to play. So the defense needs to actually step up. But the key players that are missing is paramount.
I ain't gonna lie. Defensively, I thought they stepped up to the plate. Now, I know you pointed out Harold Perkins. This is probably the best that they used him this year. And it had a lot to do with the approach of practice. I think we had more team periods where they were getting all of the Alabama looks. I ain't gonna lie. This was probably one of Harold's best games. He did have a sack, forced fumble. He led the team in solo tackles. But we are missing Wheats. Wheats is missing because he's the callus of that defense.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
they perform even higher when he's in, but you have to adapt and adjust. But those guys on that second level, boy, Halsey is something serious.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying, y'all? He's something serious. Lil Chris. Man, what you think about LSU secondary?
I mean, Ryan Williams, he didn't go crazy. Jeremy
Number one draft
Bernard,
pick overall.
Jeremy Bernard, number 5. He didn't go crazy. I mean, they held it down. And Ty Simpson, I think he's the best quarterback in the SEC this year.
Right now, yeah.
For sure.
I give him that.
He really didn't do much. I mean, he really didn't do much against this LSU defense. They won because of their defense, Alabama's defense. Ty Simpson, he just did enough to win the game. He was really a game manager in this game against LSU's defense.
Well, Chris, we got Arkansas next week. CL. Fellas, we got Arkansas. Arkansas has a mobile quarterback in Green. This game is going to mean something to them. It's early.
Means something to LSU.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Golden boot.
It's
Sure.
11:45 call. Game start, so we start the pregame show at
I know you're gonna be there.
9:45. Well, yeah, we gotta be there. We
That's
gotta do the
early
pregame.
wake up.
Early wake up. Arkansas is a team, and let's look at it by numbers. They have ran up the bag. They are a 2-7 team that fired their coach, so they're a team like us motivated because of that. Because of the ESPN has us in the predictor winning by right at 70%. But I just want to pull up Arkansas's scores this year. Arkansas, I'm going to skip the first 2 games. They put up 35 points with Ole Miss. Ole Miss was just able to score 41. They put up 31 points against Memphis. Memphis just so happened to score 32. They put up 13 points against Notre Dame because they wasn't playing that. They put up 31 points against Tennessee. Tennessee just so happened to score 34.
Sound like the defense going to have their hands.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Texas A&M scored 45 points, but Arkansas scored 42. Auburn handled their business defensively. They beat them 33-24. And they scored 35 points on Mississippi State. But Mississippi State scored 38. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Y'all like, chat below, so on and so forth. Now, I ain't tripping. Because I rock with LSU's defense, and I saw what they did against Alabama. That was the least amount of points Alabama scored since the Florida State game.
The offense got to help out the defense.
They got to help them out, CL.
Yeah.
So now I'm coming back to y'all. I'm really trying to go somewhere with this. Listen, I think number 18 is a noble player. In a time where players hitting the portal like they go ahead and hit the clubs on the night they just got paid, he stayed and he was dedicated to the Tigers. And he could have went to the draft last year and got drafted high.
Yep.
Right? He was up for the Heisman. After the Clemson game, he was the number 1 guy for the Heisman. That's why I say Frank has a decision to make. Because at this point, and I'm putting my professional hat on, this isn't a charity case, and if the shoe was on the other foot, hello somebody, you'd have been up out of there. Weezy out of here. I don't care what you did the year before. We're gonna let the audience think about that. But I look at it from the perspective of you have a kid that's talented, but he has to have an A1 offensive line in order to do what he can do. He had his guys last year, CL. He had Will Campbell, Emory Jones, so while we was messing up in the middle, he can roll out and have a little support on the edge.
Yeah, he has some support on it.
I'm not saying that. And listen, Gary will play in the NFL. I don't think it's first or second round, but I
don't think it matters anymore.
It really don't matter because you'll have better offensive lines in the league.
For sure.
You have a better offensive line getting picked later on in round.
You see what I'm saying? But hear me out on this one. Y'all check this out. Y'all saw how the drives changed when Van Buren was in there, even against Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a head coach, my job is to win. I got to do what I got to do to make sure that I keep my job or a job of. So, I don't really have time to be the good guy. Man, let me just go ahead and he was so strong for us, and we can't do that, CL. We're in a situation where we got to win, and I don't care how you split. I see the combination, but Van Buren got to be at the helm most of the time.
I say play all three of them.
Ooh, I see where you going.
Play all three of them.
He talking to the 337 folks right now.
Yeah, play all three of them.
He want Cuban to be all in the comments. That's what he want.
Cupid, play all three of them, big. Play all three of them. You want mix it up?
Let me send this to this clown, bro.
But when I say play all three of them, I mean control of football, time of possession. We already know that Arkansas almost averages 30 points a game. This is not a shootout that we want to be in. Let's play all three quarterbacks. Let's dominate with the run. Let's stay with the run. Consistently run the ball. Have routine plays routinely and run the ball. Keep the ball out of the hands of Arkansas because we know they can run it up. That's just my professional hat opinion.
I got a sidebar though, man. Big shout out to the AOL volleyball team. They headed out. I mentioned 337. They headed out to the Cajun Dome to take on Turling's Catholic for the championship series. They got the regional semifinals, the whole deal, championship round. I just spoke to them, so big ups to Coach Don and the girls over there at AOL. Good luck, ladies. Heart of a champion. Hello, somebody. You get where I'm going with this in regards to 3 games left. We got to win one of them because we got to get in the bowl game. We got 6 games to get in the bowl game. But we got Arkansas early this weekend. We got to get out there and win. We have to play Western Kentucky University. They're coming now. It's a 6:45 game. They just announced it. And we got to play against Oklahoma, but go there. That's a game I think we can win. The hat is out when 18 is at quarterback. He gonna do the Dunkin' Dick balls to the Dunkin' Dink balls to the side here and there. He gonna throw the screen. It's like the only option.
And that's why I say play all of them.
Play them all. I'm with it. Play them all. Listen, and I don't want
all 3 quarterbacks.
Cuban will be the first one to tell you, you're taking off 18. No, I'm just calling how I see it, and I typically have my glasses on. That's it.
Play all 3 of them.
Not going to be very hard to run all 3 of them like that. I mean, we ran a 2-quarterback system before. It can work. Like, we won a national championship on a 2-quarterback system, right? We did. I'm not saying that we can't now, but I'm just saying, like.
Well, once again, it's time of possession. If they average 30 points a game, they are really averaging more than 30 points a game, if my math is correct. You have to play keep away. Or you can just be old school and play ugly ball.
There we go. And look, Frank, we saying that, boy. I saw a little bit of ugly ball. Hey, boy, Harlan Berry had 66 yards, and I know a lot of that came from that big run. But
on 12 carries.
You got to figure it out.
Imagine him with 24 carries. How many yards does he get then?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's over 100. Stay with Berry, coach. Stay with Berry.
Oh, he was a starter. He was definitely a starter.
But play all 3 quarterbacks.
If y'all just tuning in, baby, it's Inside the Trenches. We're talking about the LSU Alabama matchup. We did lose. Now it's water under the bridge. We got to look forward to Arkansas. Team has an elusive quarterback in Green, a team that can run up the bag in 40-some-odd points. They've been losing, but they've been putting up points. We do have a defense that held Alabama to their second lowest score this year, obviously losing to Florida State in the beginning of the season. And they rattled off 8 straight. Just looking around the league, y'all, Georgia's still in the conversation. Oh, for sure. Texas A&M is at the top of the conversation. We just played a team in Alabama that's in the conversation. So the SEC is still SEC. we just gotta, as a team, we just gotta figure this thing out to finish strong. And then what it is, CL, what it is, Chris, what we got next? Recruiting. We got transfer portal. You know, obviously we need a lot of help on the offensive line. It's a young group of guys.
D-line.
D-line can use. Now, the D-line didn't look bad.
Wait,
I thought
baby boy coming? Georgia's all-time sack leader?
he's coming 27. Yeah.
20,
No, he's
26?
No, he's 26.
Baby boy, when you
Ooh,
coming
wee.
big? When you
Yeah.
coming, baby boy?
Yeah, he talking about shouts out to Gerald's out there in Atlanta.
And
He did break the record.
congratulations on becoming the state of Georgia's all-time high school
Forgot about that.
sack leader. A boy born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Do the ratchet, yeah.
Born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh,
now the high school all-time sack leader for the state of Georgia.
Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody.
Congratulations, young man.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him.
He said he was gonna do it.
I believe
said
the
he-
children
When we did the interview?
are future.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm like 7 sacks, 12 sacks. He said, I'm 12 sacks away from breaking the all-time record.
He
He,
did it.
said,
Go it's on wax. Go check
Probably
it out.
did
not
it.
7.
ESPN Baton Rouge
It's
Live,
one of the
yeah.
shorts. It's one of the shorts. He said, not 7, not 5, not 3. Yeah, I'm 12 sacks away.
That's big, man. That's
and he
big.
went and got it.
That's
He went and
huge.
got
He
it.
gonna surpass it.
Oh, he already
He already
surpassed
passed it. Yeah,
he already
it's-
surpassed
now,
it.
you know, season over now. They didn't. Well, they getting ready for playoffs.
Yeah,
and all
unless
that
they
stuff.
count playoffs. Do they count playoffs?
Well, I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, it don't matter either, man. It's
did.
over.
Oh yeah.
Big ups to him, man.
Yeah. See you next year, baby.
Inside the trenches, folks, man. That's inside the trenches guest. One of our special guests that came through.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, y'all, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, let's go around the league, man. Let's go around sports in general, man. You got folks out here scrapping. They got folks throwing bowls during the games.
Ooh wee.
Oh, man.
$1 million punch.
Should Shadora Sanders be the starter in Cleveland? Y'all don't go anywhere. It's inside the trenches. And once again, big ups to Conquer Sports Pros. Remember, if you're a junior or senior in high school, you play football, and you want to go to college and play football and have it paid for, visit csportspros.com. Hello, somebody. We'll be back.
Inside the trenches.
Here is where your story continues. Stretch the limits of your imagination. Create the world as you see it. One letter, one word, one pixel at a time. Move to the rhythm of your own story. Make something more. For him and her and them, for the world. Do what you love. Tell stories like never before in state-of-the-art recording, news, and editing studios. Created just for you. Learn skills that will never expire. Document moments, seconds, frames per second. Turn them into masterpieces. Creativity is more than a lifestyle. Make it a career. Tune into the sounds around you. Those notes, you were always meant to sing them. Creative boundaries, you were always meant to break them. Become the creative professional you are destined to be at the Anchor Institution for the Creative Economy. This is a stage, a world stage. New Orleans, culture rich. Loyola, hands-on access. Make the next move. Perform and work immediately. We do things differently. Use your creativity to impact society. Expand your mind. Be with and for others. Continue your story in the College of Music and Media at Loyola University, New Orleans.
Las trincheras.
inside the trenches.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Well, what's up, beautiful people? Hope y'all having a great evening. It's Inside the Trenches. I'm your host, Marlon Big Faith Favorite. Joining me, I have CL NOLA, the GM. Also, we have Lil Chris in the building, soon to be the graduate of Loyola University. And look, check this out. Speaking of Loyola University, we got one of the best production teams. Shout out to Tobi, Taylor Gang, G, everybody up in there, Jordan. Y'all keep up the good work. I love it, baby. Big ups to UP and everybody over here. A big shout out, baby, to my folks over there at ESPN Baton Rouge Guarantee Media. Appreciate y'all for all that y'all do. And thank you too for tuning in each week to Inside the Trenches, where we love to talk sports and entertainment. Yeah, man, and I felt good this morning. My joints were a little looser, and I gotta give a big shout out to Dr. Kendra over there at stillbody.org. Y'all can check it out. But Health Nut System, a proud sponsor here at Inside the Trenches. And like I mentioned, if y'all want some of these good body products, be sure to visit stillbody.org for more information and getting those products that you need. Some good sea moss too. She said she's gonna bring that good old Georgia Peach sea moss right in time for Thanksgiving, baby. That's gonna be my little morning snack before I hit the levee and tear that Thanksgiving food up. I know you is too. Oh, speaking of tearing it up, tear the club up. Tear the club up. Boy, they went down at Grambling State University this weekend.
Ooh,
yes, Grambling got themselves a quarterback. We'll get into the game here in a minute, but boy, they were throwing them bowls out there.
Ooh-wee.
Look, listen, I know we have a lot of football players that watch this show. I know there's probably a couple high school football players checking it out now. Don't go into no fight without your helmet.
Number one rule.
Number one rule. If you gonna throw them bowls, have the helmet on. You saw
and strapped up.
You're right. we gonna get to the Commanders game, right? We gonna get to the Commanders and Lions game in a minute.
Man.
We saw a player, right? St. Brown, he ain't stupid, right? Amari St. Brown, he had that helmet on when he caught that to the chin. So he caught it to the chin.
I played football in New Orleans, Louisiana, boy.
Don't do
I
that.
stayed with my helmet strap. Man, no indeed. No, you ain't about to get me.
We do not do that.
You ain't about to get me.
Chris, how they say Jeezy don't do it.
Don't do it. Never do it.
Hold on, let me pull up the Grambling game right here. I was,
you know, we make light of it. You know, it's unfortunate that these young men, you know, result in these type of altercations. But we do understand that football is a very, very passionate sport. And it's a game of emotions, and they run high, not just during the game, but also after the game.
Now check this out. Grambling's quarterback, Hayden Benoit, was 12 for 20, 220 yards. He averaged 11 yards a throw at 4 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Grambling is now 7-3. Big ups to my homie, the fam, Mickey Joseph. Keep up the good work.
Them Joseph just do good wherever they go, huh?
And they did, yeah. And won them a national championship at LSU. It's just a Joseph thing, man. VJ, I was kicking it with BT Jordan this past week, and he came down for their Shaw alumni deal. He was at the game, was chopping it up. He's like, man, I got to get up out of here in a couple of days because he's the Denver Broncos pass rush specialist. Number 1 defense in the NFL.
Number 1 sack team last year.
They broke the team record. He told me they about to break the league record in team sacks. Like, man.
After it, baby.
And that's 2 West Bankers. Yep. He went to Shaw from Algiers and Vance Joseph from Marrero. And he went to Shaw. So big ups to those guys.
Family in New Orleans.
Yes, indeed. Big ups to the Josephs, man. And Mickey, he's took him 2 years at Grambling to create a winning program, and
2 years.
2 years, and
let's not overspeak that. Let's not just rush by that. It took 2 years for him to turn around Grambling's program. Grambling has, had some dark times, but 2 years? Wow.
Chris, you talk to us about that, man. How you feel about, you're in college right now. How do you like this Grambling team, man? And so you're checking out the stats.
And I've been paying attention to them since the Body Classic game last year against Southern. They've been looking good ever since then. I just love how this team has turned around. They're 7-3 now. A couple of games left. I'm most likely going to be there when they play Southern again at the Body Classic.
In trouble.
So I'm very interested to see what they're going to do, and hopefully they can make it to the SWAC championship game.
Yeah, and the Bayou Classic is always a good game. Somebody put on that kid, cancel the Bayou Classic. After that fight, 'cause, if Grambling's trapping like that, boy, them boys in blue ain't playing.
And by the grace of God, I've been to a lot of stadiums and arenas all over the world, and there's been times when, obviously, as we walk in as the New Orleans Saints, we've had some great years, and obviously the past few years haven't been the best, and you run across other fans of teams that now their team is up, and and we always quick to remind them that actual swinging knife swings both ways.
Yeah.
One year you're up, the next year you're down. Look at Washington last year. Washington was in the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback. So. And we know what Washington has been through in the past decade, So we'll be back. We'll be back. Don't worry.
We'll be back. Well, you were talking about what Mickey was able to do in 2 years. Boy, it took 4 years for the New York Giants to fire Brian Dable. Brian Dable is out as head coach. It was breaking news earlier. And now those memes on NFL memes are starting to make a lot of sense. Now they're more funny. Right. They was talking about like how after each game, like when Jackson Dart took over as a starter, when him and Scatterboo had the first 2 games, he was like, "Thank you, man, so much. You're really saving my job, like
in my life."
But it's
livelihood.
4 wins ain't enough. No, 2. I think they did 2. 2 wins. 2 and 8. Yeah,
and obviously we know another team that's 2-8, but look at the talent difference.
Yeah.
You know, when you figured that the New Orleans Saints hadn't proven that they had one quarterback, the Giants had three. You know, when you couldn't be 100% sure who would be the next guy up with sacks behind Granderson, you know, the Giants have Spider-Man, Abdul, and Thibodeau. You know, so it's an embarrassment of riches when it comes to talent for the Giants to have such a poor record, and I think it all falls on the top guy, and that is Dable. I don't think they wanted to go forward with him because Jackson Dart is the future for the Giants, and I don't think I believe that combination just wasn't working anymore.
Well, let's check this out, y'all. Right now, and if y'all tuning in, y'all tell us what y'all think. Did the New York Giants make the right decision to fire him now? Right now, who takes over as interim head coach? I think you have Mike, Coach Mike.
Yeah, the offense. Is it Koff?
Yeah, I think it's a Kofka.
Yeah,
Kofka, something like that.
I believe it.
Sorry, Coach, for butchering your name. I know his first name's Mike.
Yeah,
but you know, you look at this now Giants team. Where Coach Mike's going to take over as an interim coach. Who is the next coach?
John Gruden.
John Gruden.
John Gruden. You have the young quarterback.
I was about to say,
you have the young quarterback in Dart. You have the veteran presence. Regardless if they move on from Russell, they still have Jameis Winston to be the backup. So you have stability at the quarterback position. We all know X2Y Spy Banana. You know, Coach Gruden, that's all he would love to run with an efficient quarterback. And I think they could do it. I mean, it might not be the beginning of the year that Scatterboo will be back, but I'm sure they'll add more talent. But I do know that LSU #1, he will be back next year. Neighbors. I know Neighbors will be back. So the talent is in New York. The talent is in New York. It's all about the coach, and then I think John Gruden would be the key guy for that job. Unfortunately, he has a lawsuit pending, so we'll see.
Who you think, Chris?
Lawsuit against the NFL.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if that's
Y'all
gonna
didn't
work
know?
out.
Yeah.
No, I heard about it.
I heard
Yeah,
about it, but I was I don't know if that'll work
Coach said
out.
y'all leaked all them emails, and it was just mine.
That was around the around the COVID time.
They was trying to get out that Raiders contract, that 10-year, $100 million contract.
Man, I remember that.
Y'all leaked all them emails.
Who you think may be a decent candidate, Chris?
The coach.
That's the way you twerk, yeah.
So why you think?
The coach, this team, I think, because they got the defense together. Offense. I'm gonna go with a shocker here. He's not too far. Joe Brady. Why not Joe Brady from Buffalo? OC.
He's an offensive-minded coach.
Oh yeah. I mean, they got, like you said, they got talent on offense.
Yeah.
With
That's a
Jackson
dark horse
Dart,
candidate right there.
Malik Neighbors.
And I'm definitely not pushing back. I just want you to be aware of what it takes to coach, play, live, breathe in the city of New York. The media is something to be spoken about. Not like any other city in America. And you need a strong personality as the head coach in the city of New York, in my opinion, of course. But I don't push back against your guy. I just think that might be too big of a job at this point. With all that talent on top of the New York media, you almost need a person. Unfortunately, you almost need a personality. You know, i.e. the Jets with Aaron Glenn, you know, personality, and they just won 2 games in a row, which is not right.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
a personality, coach with a personality.
And Aaron Glenn is really not a personality guy like that. You know, you do. I see where y'all getting.
Yeah, I think
he
just don't care. That's his personality.
Right.
He gonna do it how he gonna do it, and I think it's finally matriculating to his player.
Yeah, it has. And it takes time, and he's a defensive mind, right? So where most of their struggles at. I mean, they made some moves last week. I mean, they got Sauce up out of there.
Yeah, and right.
Quinn
So
up out of there.
you lose your best D lineman, you lose your best corner, and you go out there and you beat the Cleveland Browns.
Now, a couple names, one you might like, I saw pop up, Eric Bieniemy, offensive mind. You know, coach that's gonna come in with the order, and he a New Orleans cat. We could be wherever. It don't even matter. A couple other candidates. A guy, I don't know if y'all remember this, but back then, Coach Belichick made a mistake, and he texted Brian Flores, congratulations on the job, but he wanted to text Brian Dable. And that was like a whole lot of controversy behind that, because it was
how he knew.
Because he was up as a candidate for the job.
Right.
Do they circle back around potentially to him? Do they look at a guy like maybe Gerard Mayo, a younger coach? Do they look at a guy like?
I would say Flores before Mayo.
For sure.
I think
Me too.
they threw Mayo a bone. Hence
Because
the
of the
reason
Patriots,
hence the reason they got him out of there. But hats off to the Kraft family for the because obviously the Patriots got it right with Vrabel.
Oh yeah.
And I believe they're the hottest team in football right now. So shouts out to the Patriots and what they're doing up there. But once again,
That's tough.
His big shoes, and that's what I'm saying.
Big job.
And the Patriots was too, and for Mayo, like Vrabel, like Mike Vrabel, he's had the experience now as a head coach. Vrabel didn't do a great job at first in Tennessee, but now
look what was around him in Tennessee.
Yeah, true that. And like I said, who could be around him in New York too?
And look at Tennessee now, even with the number 1 overall quarterback in football.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, not overall quarterback in football, first round pick overall.
Yep.
You haven't heard anything from Ward.
No.
Anything.
And I think it's Mike Kafka. Mike Kafka may potential kind of like we say about Frank. Like if you just finish out,
right?
If you finish out, that might be a guy that the Cowboys did. But anyway, listen, look, y'all.
Well, that's Schottenheimer. That's young Schottenheimer. I mean, his name, like a Shanahan. Those boys' names hold weight. A Shanahan, a McVay. Yeah, just all those legacy boys, they have a leg up on coaches that's just coming in. Not just coming in, but coaches that have put some leg work in, like a Flores. You'll see. Because in the NFL, they do more retreading than they do anywhere in sports.
Oh, no doubt. And hey, look at Lane Kiffin just signed a big contract. Yep. I mean, Kiffin's son. So I mean, it's the
sure. The
pedigree
boys
they're gonna get it.
They gonna get a shot.
Speaking of legacy boys, right? Let's talk about a legacy kid. A lot of rumors going on around now in Cleveland. Now that look, I messed his name up already. From Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel. Stanking it up right now.
Like a dog.
Do they look towards Shedeur Sanders to start now? I mean, you drafted him. I don't know if Blake Zappi's going to be the answer, right? I mean, he has experience. But at some point, we'll come to you, Chris, first. What do you think about this? Do you think the Saints, we'll get to them next. Do you think that that Cleveland should give Shedeur a shot?
I say why not? I mean, the season is over with. So just like how we gave Tyler Shook a chance down here in New Orleans and the Giants gave Jackson Dart a shot in New York, why not give Shedeur Sanders a shot in Cleveland while all the quarterbacks are stinking it up? Give him a chance, at least to, see what he could do on the field on a professional level. That's what I say. Why not?
And Chris, you've been pretty candid about Shedeur. I mean, you were pretty pissed we didn't draft him here in New Orleans. See how you
to say the least.
To say the least. Hey, Chuck went out there and he handled business yesterday, but he ain't Shedeur, right?
No.
We've watched him ball in the preseason. You were pretty candid about speaking about him with that. Chris made a good point. Were we going into week 10? I mean, it's only 7 more weeks of football left. Do you go Shedeur Sanders right now?
I think it's over for Stefanski. I don't think he's even in a position where he would try to put in Shedeur to save his job. because I believe the experiment with Stefanski is over with in Cleveland. So I think they're giving Gabriel a shot just to see, giving him every benefit of the doubt just to see, because when I do my research and I think about the Shedeur situation, I realize that Cleveland is not making football moves in the beginning. I realize that the Shedeur situation is all about 2028. And I believe that's when their stadium will be finished. And they'll have a name, a quarterback with a name to go along with that stadium to sell seats in the new dog pound. I don't think the plan was for Shedeur from the beginning. And when they did decide to go against the grain, go against what the NFL obviously wholeheartedly got into not drafting him, I believe I had the idea of selling him as the draw to the new stadium that'll be built in Cleveland in 2028.
Well, it will be interesting what they do. I think they should go ahead and roll with him to give him somewhat of a spark, because he did ball hard for them in the preseason, and he would do a better job than what Gabriel's doing right now. So it will be interesting.
They refused to give him first team rep.
That's crazy. That's just wild. It makes sense. But hey, look, y'all don't go nowhere. Look, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Seth Lewis join us, baby, WWL sports analyst, sports anchor. Want to get his take on the Saints, what he think about LSU and all sports Louisiana, baby. One more time, we want to send a big shout out to Dr. Kendra Andrews. That's right. Go ahead and check out Health Nut System. Go ahead and pull them up on Google. All natural products. Visit their website, stillbody.org. And we'll be right back here on Inside the Trenches. Hello, somebody. ESPN Baton Rouge.
Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the Trenches.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. My name is Marlon Big Favorite. If you are serious about playing college football on the next level and having it paid for, visit us at csportspros.com. Again, that's csportspros.com, or you can click the link below.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Well, hello, somebody. It's time to move your body. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon Big Favorite. I have my co-host, CL, here. And look, we saved the Saints for the end of the show because we got a special guest on. That's right. Our next guest, right here from Louisiana, works, guess what, at WWL as a sports analyst anchor, travels with the Saints. We see him all the time at training camp. We had to get him on the show. Mm-hmm. Let's give a warm Inside the Trenches welcome to Seth Lewis, baby.
Yeah, man, appreciate y'all having me, man.
Man, thanks for coming on. Y'all be sure to follow my brother on all social media platforms at Seth Lewis Inc. INC. Man, so much. We've been trying to get you on the show, but the Saints has been having a crazy. And look, we finally get you on. The Saints got to win. Can't wait to talk to you about that.
Man, going to Charlotte, you know, I was talking with a friend of mine who's an anchor in Charlotte before the game. He's like, man, you think it's going to be a blowout? And I was like, nah, not really. You know what I mean? Part of it was because the Saints' schedule is getting more favorable now. Mm-hmm. But another part of it, too, is like Carolina coming into this game was 5-4, but it didn't look great on paper. Like when you were just looking at like different things, it was like, man, how are they 5-4? Like Bryce is like a bottom 10 quarterback right now still. You know what I mean? Like he's shown better flashes, but it's still not enough to be like, okay, he's the franchise guy. And the defense isn't like a top 10 defense. And so it was like, all right, we're going to see. Like I think this game is going to be closer than like what people imagine. They ended up pulling off the upset.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, we know you were there pulling it down for not only your station, but for Louisiana. How about you tell the people where you started from, brother? I actually know, but I want you.
Well, look, I'm from the East. You know what I mean? I'm off Morrison and Damian. You know what I mean? So that's where I grew up, man. That's where I was born and raised. Nowadays, like New Orleans is home, but like also Opelousas, Louisiana is home for me too, because that's where my family moved after Hurricane Katrina.
Right. Okay, all right.
And they still live out there, and so I still go out to visit and whatnot. And went to LSU. We had a little bit of overlap in Baton Rouge. But man, so far I've been to Lake Charles. I've worked in Lake Charles. I've worked in Baton Rouge. I've worked in Lafayette. I worked in New Orleans. I joke and call myself the I-10 Thanos because I didn't collected all of the Infinity Stones.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I could snap South Louisiana in half at any time, man. Right. So it's been cool, but this has been the coolest because, man, I'm home. You know what I mean? And I'm at the station that I grew up watching and seeing Jim Henderson and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if y'all remember at the Children's Museum when we was growing up.
The WWL thing in there,
WWL set, right?
Yeah.
So
on Julia.
So when I graduated from LSU, my parents, one of their gifts to me was this. It was like a ESPN chair that was a picture holder, and on that picture was me on the WWL set when I was like 2 years old, 3 years old, something like that. Like I was real small, and so when I got the job, it was like, wow. Like looking back at that photo,
Right.
like what a full circle moment.
Well, you want to talk full circle, brother? I'll talk full circle with you.
Yeah.
I think you might be aware that I've been knowing you your whole life.
Yep.
And you just it's amazing to me because I think it was seen in you at a very young age. And your mother knows my mother. They've been good friends. They've worked together for years. We all know Ro Brown is a friend of the family, of both families. And he was also the catalyst for all of us to step into this world. Shouts out to Ro Brown. I'm so grateful for you because I've seen you so many times on the road. And I'm gonna make you laugh right quick. Fogo de Chao, downtown Seattle.
Yeah. No, that's where you tried to holler at me at.
Yeah.
Was Fogo de Chao.
Yeah.
Man, so here's a funny story about Fogo de Chao that nobody would know, but like also I don't think I posted anything from Fogo de Chao. So going to Seattle, right? When we go on these trips are short. So like my thing is like when you're experiencing new cities, like I always want to just do like one thing.
Right.
Because we don't have enough time to do a bunch of things.
There's no time.
So my one goal was to catch the fish
Right.
at the market. At the market. That was my one goal in Seattle was to catch the fish at the market, right? So me and my photographer, Adam Nay, we go over to the market and we looking for it. We don't know exactly where it is.
It's at the end.
It's at the end,
Yeah.
right? While I'm walking, I run into my cousin there, right? And my cousin's not even going to the game. He just happened to be out in Seattle. I run into him and his wife, and he like, man, we looking for where they catch the fish. We like, man, us too. So eventually we find it. They let me, they're like, okay, yeah, you can do it, but like we about to close in 5 minutes. So you gotta put the apron on right now. Well, my cousin was already standing there filming. He like, oh man, like y'all about to go. So he and his wife was just hoping to see somebody catch it. And it ended up being me, right? And they just happened to be there to be able to get it. We got it on like the video official camera, but they was able to get it on the phone where I could like have it immediately and be able to share it. And so that was cool. And they was like, man, come with us to dinner tonight at Fogo de Chao. And that's why I was over there. So it's just like, I mean, like, man, that moment was so cool. Just a super cool night. Absolutely.
Yeah, Seattle, a different vibe. So I can remember being out there as a player.
Sure.
I was talking with the AOL students earlier today. They're about to play in the championship game. And I was telling them about how when I moved to Seattle, that's right when the recession had hit, man, the people in Bellevue ain't know what the heck was going on. It was like, recession, y'all struggling out? I'm like, you're damn right.
Bellevue is a whole nother world.
That's a whole new world.
Even from Seattle.
Right, it's just this different.
And honestly, quick shout out to Chris Hagan, which is like
shout out to my homie Chris.
That's one of our biggest connections, because he lives in that Pacific Northwest.
That's right.
So he was telling me about Seattle and how nice it was, and I got to experience it. And that was
this year.
And that was this year.
Y'all went to the game.
Yeah, it was a forgettable game, but it was a memorable weekend for myself. So that's all that matters.
For all of us,
we have to forget that, Laws.
All of it.
If y'all just tuned in to Inside the Trenches, we're joined by WWL Sports anchor Seth Lewis, right here from the NOLA, LSU Tiger as well. Y'all make sure y'all follow him at Seth Lewis, INC Inc. Talk to our viewers about the life of a journalist. Starting with your journey, I heard you say you had the Thanos, so you went down. So you worked for all these different stations. Talk to us about the journey.
And look, like part of the reason why I'm the I-10 Thanos is because like most people don't have to work in all those markets. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like usually if you work in Lake Charles, you skip in Lafayette. If you working in Lafayette, you ain't working in Lake Charles. My journey has just been so unique to where it just happens to be that like I've worked in all four places. But man, and it's not even like fully answering your question, but like it kind of does, to keep that theme, it kind of gives me a superpower. Because when I'm talking to people anywhere in South Louisiana, you know, like if you're talking to somebody from a smaller town, they're like, oh, you probably don't know where I live. I lived in DeQuincy. I'm like, oh, DeQuincy's 20 minutes outside of Lake Charles. Man, what? What you know about DeQuincy? And like immediately me and that person has a bond.
That's right.
Based on where they
100%.
live. I can talk about their universities. I can talk about their high schools. I can talk about their communities. If we talking about Acadiana, that's the KATC, the ABC station out in Lafayette. That's the station I spent the most time at. I was there for 6 years. So 9 times out of 10, depending on where you was, I could talk about probably my favorite food spot in your town. You know what I mean?
Right, that's real rap.
And so it's been such a blessing to be in all those places. Because like I said, every time I pass through there, I have a connection. It's not just somewhere that I'm passing through and it's like, oh, passing Lake Charles on the way to Houston. It's like, no, like this place gave me my start. Like I'm gonna go to Darrow's and I'm gonna go get a po' boy from over there. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's been really cool, the life that I've been able to live with it.
So it was out of LSU, it was to Alexandria.
So it was Lake Charles first. I went to Lake Charles for a year and a half. Then I went to Baton Rouge for about 2 years at WBRZ. Had a little bit of a break, and then actually spent like 2 months in Monroe before going back to Lafayette around where my family is, and then now I've been in New Orleans for a little over 2 years, man. So. Like I said, it's not the usual journey. You know, we don't have enough time to get into like all of the ebbs and flows.
Right.
But what I can say is God's always gonna place you where He needs you to be.
Man.
And my story has been a testament to that.
Well, that's real.
Oh, for sure. I know what year you was born.
Yeah, true. That's true.
It's truly amazing, brother, because I actually see you on the planes and everything. I just, I be in my own little world. What would you say your favorite thing about it is? I mean, obviously for me, it stopped being it stopped football. Football is just the lanyard at the end of it all. Everything from the traveling to the, being you can't help but be a foodie, right?
No.
Just loving the different. I mean, in Seattle, we had on sweatshirts a month ago.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool. You know what I mean? You had sleeves.
Oh yeah, I was killing them.
So like, yeah, no doubt. So I think like my favorite thing since I've been in New Orleans has been the travel, right? Because like right before I left Lafayette, I had the chance to cover the women's national championship in Dallas, and I went to the men's national championship in Houston the next day. And then like we were in Atlanta for the SEC championship when LSU played Georgia a few years ago. In Orlando, like UL men's basketball, they had made the tournament and they played the first round. So I was going these different places, and I felt like God was telling me in that time, like you. Like, not you meant to do this, but like this isn't the end of like you doing a lot of travel right now. You're going to continue to do a lot of travel. Like I just felt that kind of in my spirit. And so like the opportunity obviously to represent the station and to cover these teams, no matter if it's the Saints, no matter if it's LSU, if the Pelicans made the playoffs, I would be covering them too. But that hasn't happened since I've been here, right? Like the opportunity to go to these different places and to cover these different events have been cool. But the coolest part of journalism and of this career is the people. Like it's all you're telling people stories. Like yes, when LSU goes on their undefeated run in 2019, like that's the coolest season I've ever covered.
I'm sure.
But like the stories that stick out the most is like the girl who was a softball player and who got hurt so she couldn't pitch anymore. So she had to teach the younger pitchers how to do it, and it all reflects back to her life of giving back and like giving to like different like toy drives and giving to like food banks for hurricanes. Like, it's the story, like that's a specific story, but like there's so many stories like that I've done. And like for me, I'm a storyteller. I'm good with words. You know what I mean? Like I love, like I almost feel like in a different life I could have been a songwriter. Because I love just the way to like put things together. Like we were talking at the station last week, and we were talking about Saints and Panthers, and like just how like a year apart, how different the game is. Last year going into that game or after the game, 7-game losing streak, Dennis Allen gets fired. Right? Colin Saunders is on Twitter calling it the Cottonelle Doodoo Bowl, right? You know what I mean? Like it was like, man, this is rock bottom. And like literally this is live on TV, and I'm like, man, and the Saints are returning to the scene of the toilet. I had not thought of that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just like the ability to put words together
Bars,
and storytelling.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just enjoy that, and because our part of news isn't the serious part of news,
Yeah,
right? Like
right.
we have the freedom to have more fun.
Yep.
I try to have as much fun with it as possible in every single angle.
Day to day as a journalist, right? You got to get up at a certain time. You got to, finish, maybe leaving the studio at a certain time. That's part of the reason, like, you're supposed to be on a show like 3-4 weeks ago, but the time can be unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
So the day in the life of a journalist, like, what it is for you, like, there's somebody out there right now that's a high school journalist, or our students right here, like, man, like you saw Chris wanted to get you because he wanted to intern.
I was impressed with Chris.
Yeah. So I guess he's been working his tail off. Yeah. I guess talk to our viewers with the lifestyle for it.
Well, I mean, look, it changes as the seasons change.
Mm-hmm.
Like during football season, everything is so regimented. Like I know what I'm doing. Like Friday, I'm previewing the Saints game, and I'm going to our game of the week for high school football.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday is college football, so that's typically at LSU, covering either the LSU game or the Tulane game. Sunday is always Saints in some capacity, unless I'm coming back from, like, let's say I went to Tuscaloosa to cover LSU, then maybe I'm not doing anything with the Saints that day. But most of the time, Sunday is Saints. Monday is also Saints. It's recapping. Right. It's the water cooler talk, like, hey, how did, Tyler Shuck look good? You know what I mean? Like, how they feeling going into the bye? And then Tuesday, Tulane always talks on Tuesday, so like I'm doing some sort of preview typically on Tulane. But it's one of those things where, like, if you can, I'm not saying that everybody can, but if you can, try to schedule a tour at a TV station. We'd love to have you at Channel 4, but like wherever it is, I think when people get to see it from behind the scenes, they understand just how much work goes into it.
Right.
Because like when you think about it, you're like, oh man, you're just reading words off of a screen and like it's cool, but it's like way more than that that's going into it. You know what I mean? Like we're typically for 6 o'clock, let's say 6 o'clock, we usually get like a minute and a half for our sportscast. 5 o'clock, it'll be like a minute, maybe a minute and a half. We spend 4 hours putting that 3 minutes together.
That's right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's not like just like, oh, okay, just slap some video on it. Like there's so many different elements to trying to like make just those portions come alive. And so if people get a chance to tour, if people get to see behind the scenes, I think they can really understand just how much work goes into it. You have to love it, right? When you talk about being a journalist, right? Like especially at first, the money in Lake Charles, if we keeping it funky, I was making $22,000 in Lake Charles, at least at first, right? Until I was promoted.
I know all about it.
And so like, man, like it was a lot of Subway coupons.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of Quiznos coupons. A lot of sandwiches. You know what I mean?
You your mama's son.
Oh man, my mom. Shout out to my mom. She was mailing them. She was mailing them coupons.
Yeah,
That's real rap, dog.
But that's the truth. Like, and so you have to love it. And if you love it, then like I'm saying, the money will follow. But like the things that like truly make you rich in life will follow. Because it's not just money, man. You know what I mean? Like we were never broke, but we were never rich, but we were always rich in love.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you love what you do, like, bro, you
It ain't nothing.
hey.
You can't be bankrupt.
Right. Oh,
Real spill.
you ain't got to tell me.
That boy dropping bars for real, man.
You know he is. He ain't got to tell me. I ran up in here off for 12 hours.
That's fair. Yeah, he just come off a set production set. So,
Man.
So, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, I'm blessed to know you. I'm blessed to have a lot of information on you. I'm blessed to watch you from afar. I have a sense of pride when I see you. I have a sense of pride when I see, dudes get on the plane and then you're not too far behind. You brought up Mike Hoss, and it's a great feeling to see you at training camp. It's even you see Bobby, but for you to become one of those guys,
Crazy.
for you to become one of those guys, a Dick Vitavita.
Dick
It's Monday for me.
Vitale.
Yeah.
Dick Vitale, yeah.
So, so all of these names and all of this success for you across Southeast and Southwest Louisiana, what is your two day grow? What is the thing that you want to reach to? I'm sure you're fine where you're at now, but knowing you, there's a bigger picture in mind. What is your bigger picture? What is your final stage called when it comes to what you want to do in this field?
So I don't I wish I had like a concrete answer to that. I wish I just had oh man, I want to be on ESPN and
well, you are on ESPN right now, brother.
Yeah, facts. Hey, look how God works.
Hello.
Hey,
man.
look how God works.
That's right.
So I wish it was something like that, but for me, I just know that for as long as I'm blessed to do this, I'm pretty sure I have this in all my different bios, trying to uplift with my words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Christian. I truly believe in being the light of Christ, and being someone that when people encounter you, no matter if it's them watching you on TV, right, or it's them encountering you in a grocery store or at a concert or something like that, that they can see that light, that they can have some positivity off of it, and hopefully through all of those things, it maybe brings them to Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's always gonna be my bigger picture, because this is what I do. It's not who I am.
Right.
I love what I do. Man, I feel like I'm good at what I do. But I always have to keep the main thing, which is Christ. And which is trying to be a positive figure. We all play roles in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
People see us and people know that you don't have to be a certain way or live a certain way in order to see success.
Right.
And you mentioned Roe. Roe was such a great example of someone that I watched growing up. And that we all watched growing up. Definitely. And being I'm not going to say I just knew I always wanted to be a sports anchor, but I watched him and knew I could.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Did he
knowing
tell
that
you that
you
you could?
Well, he was an example.
He told me that I could.
Well, look, my favorite Roe story is I was interning at WAFB in Baton Rouge, and we were at a wrestling tournament, and I'm sitting next to Roe on the mat. Roe wasn't in television at that point, but I think he was covering it for Crescent City or something like that. And so I'm like, hey, look, I'm not trying to make you feel old or nothing like that, but man, I watched you growing up. It's an honor to meet you. He said, no, that doesn't make me feel old. It's when Brett Favre comes up to me and says he watched me growing up. Wow. That makes me feel old. And that's the first time I ever met Roe, and that's my favorite story with him. So, again, the way that he inspired me, I hope I can inspire others. Mm-hmm. It's not just to be on TV and be a sports anchor or to be on the news, but to just know that you can be a positive Black influence in whatever field that you're in.
Man, that's rich, and I want to give a big prop to Roe too. When he, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, and has really just been a pillar for us, an iconic figure here in New Orleans in journalism, and like you said, he gave us the audacity and hope to do this, and I think that's huge. I want to switch gears a little bit because we got to get you out here in a second. But I want to switch gears back to the Saints. Earlier this week, they went on, this week, last week, trade deadline, they traded Rashid Shaheed to Seattle.
Back to Seattle,
huh? But we circle the conversation back to Seattle. But they did get some value out of him and Trevor Penning. Do you look at this as the Saints saying, all right, we're just going to finish the season with what we have, but we have some value. They're back up to 7 picks now. Was this a good move by the New Orleans Saints, or you kind of wish it would have went the opposite way?
I think it was a good move. For one, you're in rebuild mode, so you need to act like you're in rebuild mode. Right. Being a rebuilding team, being someone who is looking to become younger and younger, you need more assets. You need more draft picks, right? So to acquire 3 picks, most importantly, 2 picks in this upcoming draft, and to put yourself to now 7 picks in the 2026 draft, that's very important. And I also think that as good, like, man, Rashid Shaheed was such a feel-good story during his time here, right? Like, you know the practice squad grind.
Undrafted, all of that.
Undrafted, like, and to be able to work his way, Weber State.
Come on,
it's Dame Lillard and him. You know what I
See
mean?
what I'm saying?
When we talking about Weber State.
So,
like for him to be able to grind his way to this spot is really cool. But the truth of the matter is, when you look at across the NFL and you look at other number 2 wide receivers, Rashid Shaheed, it doesn't necessarily fit. You wouldn't put him in the T. Higgins type of category, right?
Yeah.
When you look at Chris Olave and you talk about number 1 wide receivers, he doesn't necessarily fit that. And they're both coming up for potential paydays. You can't pay the both of them, right?
Right.
Like they both don't fit. Like Olave's probably more of a 2. You know what I mean? Like compared to like at least his production up to this point.
No, he's a 2.
He's a 2.
He's
you know
a
what I
2.
mean? Like it's not been that like that go-to guy, even though he had a really good game against Carolina, right?
He was overdue.
He was overdue for that. Because of that, you can't pay both of them, and you don't want to necessarily like lose out on value from like them leaving. Maybe you get a compensatory pick, or maybe like you sign somebody else and then that cancels out the compensatory pick altogether.
Right.
Like you need to get value for one of them. So you get 2 picks for Shaheed, you get a 4th and a 5th, which is essentially the value of a 3rd round pick. So it's like, okay, cool. You get both of those back. And now with Olave, who I believe has 1 more year left on his deal. You know, so he has 1 more year left on his deal. Now you can figure out, all right, what can we pay him? Or if it doesn't work out numbers-wise, because you don't want to force it either.
Right.
Like you're trying to clear so much of this cap space and the cap hell, like they talk about it with the Saints. Like you're trying to get out of that. So like you don't want to give him a crazy contract. If you give him some, like if he gets a contract that's similar to some 2s, I think that's fair. Yeah. If he's asking for 1 money, then maybe the move is to then try to figure out, okay, how do we move him and find value there? But I again, as a team that is looking for more talent, you can't pretend anymore like, all right, we want to keep all our guys and these feel-good stories. You need to give value, tear this thing down like they're doing, to try to build it back up and see where you are beyond 2026, because it's not going to be a 1-year solution.
Yeah. And if y'all remember this, I mean, shoot, this past draft, they did exceptionally well. Look at the guys that they drafted that's actually playing.
Well, I mean, I would love to answer all of those questions. The situation is with Olave, he might ask for 1 money, but he knows numerically, yak yardage wise, he's comparable to a number 2, even a number 3. In real life, Sheed is a 3. In any team in the NFL, Olave would be a 2, Sheed would be a 3. So in the reality of it, we have to give them their market value. So like, and I love how you said, don't force it. If it doesn't work, then we'll go get a true number 1 in the first round. Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State.
He got another year. He got another year. Him and the Williams kid at Alabama got another year. They both sophomores.
I'll take Ryan Williams.
They both sophomores. So I mean, like,
both young.
So then maybe we do force it.
But again, like to me,
they'll be free
because like he deserves to get paid. You know what I mean? Like I want to see him get paid. Right. You just got to make sure that it makes sense for both sides.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
We can't give him 1 money.
You can't. The Saints can't give him 1 money.
He's not 1 money.
And so if you gotta roll with a rebuilt wide receiver room, then so be it. Devon Vele played the most snaps last week of all of the weeks.
That's right.
Since he's been with the Saints.
Well, that was the purpose to get rid of Sheed because he was holding him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So look, like I said, they're in rebuild mode. They have to continue to act that way. We'll see if Tyler Shuck is the answer at quarterback, because he certainly looked good against Carolina.
He did. Man, what we love to do here on the show for our guests leave, that's your camera over there. We ask for you to send a message out to the young journalist. There's a young man that's probably watching us right now, want to be the next Seth, or have an opportunity to make the best of himself, man. There you go.
Yeah, to any young man or young woman, I would just say pursue your dream. You know what I mean? If If you believe in God, keep God first, and He will guide your path. And just know that anything is possible. I know Kevin Garnett said it with the Celtics, but it's the truth. Anything is possible that you put your mind to if you have that belief. I know we don't have a lot of time left, but I had a friend of mine in college. Every time we would leave the college TV station, I would tell him, we will make it. He'd say, yeah, we can make it. I'd be like, no, bro, we will make it. Till he said it. I made sure he would say it. And I got a job right out of college, and he got a job in TV like 2 months later. And I just think that's the power of words. That's the power of belief. That's the power of faith and having belief in yourself. So just believe.
Faith in God matters, and, man, words all powerful. Seth, thank you so much. I didn't think, man, we got a little preaching. He's an on-time
I knew he was
God. Yes, he is. Man, I love the message, bro. Thank you so much for coming on the show. He's Seth Lewis. Make sure y'all follow him at Seth Lewis Inc. on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you do your social media. And look, y'all want to watch some sports locally? Check out WWL Channel 4 News. You can check him out. And he in them streets, too, at the games, giving y'all some great analysis. We want to thank him so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, brother.
We want to take this time also to thank all of our sponsors of the show. Big ups to Gordon McKernan. Get Gordon and get it done, baby. If you've been in a personal injury or you've been hurt on the job, call 504-800-8888. Couple eights on that. 4 8s. Get Gordon and get it done. Shouts out to Dr. Kendra Andrus over at Health Nut System. Appreciate you for being a sponsor to the show. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me personally with your products, all natural products, the 365. CL been on your CMOS. He been showing off in the gym. Shots out. If you want to be able to show off in the gym, y'all be sure to go to stillbody.org and get y'all supplements today. Affordable, especially the time right here where we need it, is affordable. And Conquer Sports Pros, baby. Visit csportspros.com. If you're a high school junior or senior and you're looking to get recruited, go to college and play football for free and get a free education, visit them at csportspros.com. Well, that does it. Big ups to our production team in there. Shouts out to all y'all over here at Loyola. Big ups to y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for all that y'all do. Shouts out to ESPN Baton Rouge. Big ups to our special guest, Seth Lewis, for coming on the show. Special. Big ups to CL NOLA, co-host, and my man Chris Ponce in there. For all of us over here at Loyola, for y'all, have a blessed week. And we'll be back, same time, 6:30 p.m., right here on ESPN Baton Rouge is live. Have a good one. Peace. Hello.